What if World War III was declared tonight? How would our world change and what events would transpire? This provocative question isn't just fodder for blockbuster movies or dystopian novels, it's a hypothetical scenario that holds weighty significance, inviting us to examine our current geopolitical landscape. Throughout this video, we'll traverse a possible timeline of events, mapping out the ripple effects of such a declaration. This is not to alarm you, rather to explore a potential future and reflect on our present. Imagine the news broadcasts, headlines screaming of the declaration of war. The immediate aftermath would be chaotic. Picture world leaders, their expressions grave as they address their nations, promises of strength and resilience echoing through their speeches. Behind the scenes, military forces would be mobilized at a scale unseen in decades, the hum of tanks and the roar of fighter jets filling the air. But it's not just a physical war. The digital battlefield would be just as crucial, with cyber warfare threatening to disrupt communication systems, cripple infrastructure, and throw our interconnected world into disarray. Meanwhile, civilians, the unsuspecting victims of this grand chess game, would be gripped by panic. Grocery shelves would be stripped bare, streets would echo with the thunderous march of protests, and families would huddle around their radios, their hearts in their throats. In the midst of chaos, the world would brace itself for the uncertainties of war. As days turn into weeks, the war escalates. Allies are drawn in, and the conflict becomes global. The stage is set for a seismic shift in world alliances as nations are forced to pick sides. The geopolitical landscape, once familiar, is now fraught with uncertainty and fear. In this new world order, economic devastation follows swiftly on the heels of military action. Trade routes are disrupted, stock markets plummet, and currencies devalue overnight. In an era of globalization, no economy can stand alone, and the ripple effects of this economic collapse are felt worldwide. As the war machine grinds on, the cost is not just financial. The human toll is immeasurable. Displacement of people becomes a common sight, as cities transform into war zones. The infrastructures that once supported life crumble under the weight of conflict. The humanitarian crisis escalates, with countless lives hanging in the balance. In the face of such devastation, we must address the unthinkable. The potential use of nuclear weapons. The specter of nuclear war looms large, casting a long shadow over the conflict. It's a game of brinkmanship, where the stakes are the survival of humanity itself. The catastrophic consequences of nuclear warfare are well documented. Cities reduced to ashes, countless lives lost, and the environment irreparably damaged. The fallout, both literal and metaphorical, would be felt for generations to come. The theater of war is not just the battlefield. It's the homes, the schools, the hospitals. It's the shattered lives and the broken dreams. It's the fear that grips a world on the brink. And as we stand on this precipice, we must ask ourselves, is it worth it? The flames of war would not only consume nations but also the very fabric of our global society. In the aftermath of such a war, the world would be forever changed. Nations that once stood tall might crumble, their landscapes forever scarred by the ravages of conflict. Yet, from the ashes, new world powers could potentially arise. Countries previously overshadowed might find themselves thrust into the limelight, their resilience and resourcefulness now key assets in a world reshaped by war. As we survey this hypothetical landscape, we must also consider the daunting task of rebuilding. Entire cities would need to be reconstructed, economies revitalized, and societies healed. The process would be slow and fraught with challenges, but it would also be a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity. The environment, too, would bear the brunt of this conflict. The long-term effects could be devastating, with ecosystems disrupted, species endangered, and the climate potentially altered. Yet in this dark scenario, there may be a glimmer of hope. Such a stark demonstration of our capacity for destruction might finally galvanize the world into taking decisive action on environmental conservation. And what of us, the people? The wounds of war run deep, leaving scars on both body and soul. Yet it is often from our greatest trials that we draw our most profound lessons. A conflict of this magnitude could serve as a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the futility of war. World War III remains a chilling hypothetical, yet it serves as a stark reminder of the importance of diplomacy, understanding, and peace.